Hello, welcome to the Peach Hospice Care Stadium, where here at Big Wage United we are proud to host the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. Sorry, the Gladwish Challenge League. That's a good start. The Gladwish Challenge Trophy final, my apologies, between Moulton FC and Rugby Borough. We are just waiting for the two teams to come out, and whether you're watching as a neutral here, as I will be commentating as a neutral, between these two sides, a little bit about how they got to the final. So Moulton, they had a bye in the first round of this competition. Both teams are actually in the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1, league below where Biggleswade United do play. But they've knocked out some real big teams in the build-up for both teams. The first round, Moulton did get themselves a bye. Rugby Borough beat the Premier Division side Leverstock Green 2-0 at home. And in the second round, Moulton knocked out Premier Division side Dunstable away from home, a 3-2 victory there. Letchworth Eagles were up next, Rugby Borough, who also play in Division 1, who Rugby Borough won by 5-1. And in the third round for Moulton, they knocked out Northampton Checknets from also their same league, 2-1 at home. Another dry killing for Rugby Borough in the third round. They knocked out Crawley Green Division Premier Division side by 3-1. And in the quarterfinals, Aylesbury Vale Dynamos were up next for Moulton away from home. They beat them 4-3 on penalties after drawing 2-2 on the night. And for Rugby Borough, they then knocked out another Premier Division side in Owsley Town 5-0 at home in the cup quarter-final. And then in the semi-finals, this is where the big rankings continue to happen in this before these two sides. Cockfosters faced Moulton, and Moulton beat them on penalties away from home 4-2 after drawing 1-1 on the night. And Rugby Borough knocked out Stockfold, who, as we know now, have been promoted. So congratulations to Stockfold to step 4. They knocked out Stockfold, Rugby Borough, 5-3 on penalties after drawing 3-3. So it's a real giant killer of a final, this, between two sides that have never appeared in this cup final before. So it should well be a cracker. And for either side, they've been a tremendous achievement to get this far into the competition as we await both sides to come out. This is the team news, and it is as follows. For Rugby Borough, number 1, we have Lewis Patchin. Number 2, we have Ash Piper. Number 3 is Connor Gamble. Number 4 is Dan Charles. Number 5 and captain is Sean Castleton. Number 6 is Ethan Flegg. Number 7 is Halim. Number 8 is Gez McGailey. Number 9 is Charlie Whiteside. Number 10 is Adam Carney. Number 11 is Adam Shaw. And on the subs bench, they have Josh Cook, George Bryce, Jay Finley, and Sam Lockley. The Moulton starting 11 is as follows. We have number 1, and apologies if I butcher any names here, Felipe Midicrelos. Number 2, Luca Iesafano. Number 3, Tom O'Neill. Number 4, Ben Jackson. Number 5, Josh McClenny. Number 6, and captain Francis Boateng. Number 7, Dylan Weston. Number 8, Emmanuel Asante. Number 9, Derek Okoye. Number 10, Nat Ansu. Number 11, Joey Evans. And then on the subs bench, we have number 12, Darren Foxo. Number 14, Adam Jordan. Number 15, Cole Mason. Number 16, JJ McCarthy. And number 17, Albert Mensah. So that is both sets of teams, as you can see on our screen.
Number 5 is captain John Castleton. Number 6 is Ethan Flegg. Number 7 is Harry Hallam. Number 8 is Jez.
I believe it's Moulton Town in the black and white stripes this evening with Moulton black and white stripes and Rugby Borough in the orange strip. I hope I got that right anyway, but thank you all for joining, whether you are a Rugby Borough fan, a Moulton fan, a Biggleswade United fan, or just any fan of football. We want to thank everyone for joining us. We will give a big shout out to all of our sponsors here at Biggleswade United very soon, around half time. But it should be a real cracker between two sides, as I mentioned, have never got to this far into the competition. It's actually the first time they've both entered this competition, and they've both got to the final. And as I mentioned, six Premier Division sides have been knocked out by both sides combined to get here. So you could argue maybe those teams might have potentially rested players of Premier Division sides, but you've got to beat those teams, and you know, fair play to both for getting this far into the competition, and also now have an opportunity for some silverware and to win this coveted trophy for the first time in either of their histories. It should be a real cracker here. Hospice Care Stadium as we just await kickoff as both sides switch sides now. I believe Moulton in the black and white stripes and Rugby Borough in their orange kit. The referee counts both sets of players, and apologies if I can't keep up with names. I'm relatively new to commentating for both of these teams. So it'll be a challenge on the commentary as well. So bear with us, of course. But there's my socials if you would like to follow me on Twitter at Ryan__Madden. And we are underway here in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy Final. It'll be Rugby Borough that kick us off here. They've passed it around the back very early. Rugby Borough, who got promoted, won the Division 1 playoff final at the weekend, beating Northampton Chenets by 2-0 to get promotion into Step 5. They have an opportunity to get 2 trophies in 3 days this evening. It's Tom O'Neill on the ball now here for Rugby Borough. It's well intercepted there by Ash Piper of Moulton. That's very highly contested there. And now it's Moulton that's trying to bust up their first attack, but it's well intercepted there by the captain, Sean Castleton of Rugby Borough, and the ball goes out to play for a throw-in to Rugby Borough. For the flick on there, that ball there is going to go out of play for a throw-in for Moulton. Headed away. Either side really very early stages as we enter the minute and a half played. And both sides have played each other a couple of times in this division. That's definitely a free kick foul there by Sean Castleton there on Derek Coy of Moulton FC, and Moulton have a chance here to get themselves a very early chance here in this cup final. The head-to-head's quite interesting actually, because Rugby Borough have actually who finished above Moulton in the division. They actually haven't beaten them this season. Moulton won 5-3 at the home leg for them, and then in the return fixture beat Rugby Borough 3-0 away from home. So they seem to be a bit of a bogey team for Rugby Borough Moulton. So they want to try and put that right today, Rugby Borough. Despite going up, this is one of the few teams they haven't actually beaten this season. So that makes for a very interesting contest indeed. The free kick was a little bit of a waste there. It was straight at the goalkeeper, and I think the referee's blown for a foul in favour of Rugby Borough. The referee's having a word there with number 11, Nat Ansu. I think this early into a game like this, I don't think you'd be giving yellow cards that cheaply away. That's for sure. The head was on here, and now number 11 could be through for Rugby Borough, but it was well caught there by Felipe in the Moulton net. So just feeling each other out at the moment in the early stages. It's a neutral ground as well, of course, for both teams. Great to see the Keach Hospice Care stage in the ground in magnificent condition for this cup final. As everyone here at Biggleswade United is so proud to be hosting this cup final this evening. And I'm, of course, very proud to be covering the match tonight as well. So throw in here for Rugby Borough. Is to play it through quickly here. There could well be an early opportunity. The goalkeeper's had to come out there. Felipe's committed himself. And he's done well. In the end there, the number 6, Ethan Flake. Sorry, Francis Boateng, beg your pardon. Managed to clear his lines there. But he goes out of play for a throw-in to Rugby Borough. 4 minutes played in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It is Moulton 0, Rugby Borough 0. It's a long throw in here for Rugby Borough. They've won a corner. They got themselves a corner. It's the first corner of this cup final, and it goes to Rugby Borough. And very interestingly, Rugby Borough will be going up into Step 5. But one of the teams they didn't beat in Step 6 last season, the season that we're currently playing, is Moulton. And Moulton did beat Rugby Borough both home and away. So very interesting that indeed the keeper's gone down there as well, off the ball it looks like, but he seemed to be okay. But Moulton managed to clear their lines there quite well and try and muster up a counter-attack, but it's cleared away there by the number 2, Ash Piper. That's intercepted here by Moulton here. They could well be on for a counter-attack. There's 4 up here if they can get this right. It's the number 2, Luca Ayafansu, who did score a couple goals in the first and the second round of this competition, but his cross didn't really come to much. But now it's back with Moulton. And it's well intercepted there by the number 7, Halim. And now they could be in here. Rugby Borough, goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had to commit there. And he did well. He did very well there, Felipe, up against Adam Shaw, who's a striker full of confidence for Rugby Borough. Cross coming in again. It's cleared by Moulton. And now it's Moulton who cleared the lines well, and it's a very open game the first 6.5 minutes, that's for sure. Teams will be enjoying the occasion, but will know that they would love to make history for either side tonight, who, as I mentioned at the start of the game, neither side have got to the final before this season. So the history made regardless for either side, but they'll want to finish that history with some silverware, that's for sure. Ball comes over the top here for Moulton. Flag's going to be up for offside against the number 9, Derek Okayu. Okayu, who's had 3 goals in this competition so far. Who's up against Adam Shaw, who's also up front for Rugby Borough. Both players on 3 goals in this competition will want to add a 4th in the final, that's for sure. It's cleared away by Moulton. Let's try and get themselves up the pitch. Good pressing though there from Rugby Borough. Away. Both sides really struggling to contain those second balls at the moment, but it's back with Rugby Borough's good strength there. He's done well, the number 2 there, Luca Ianfanso. And now it looks like they're going to try and get themselves back up the pitch. It's another well-timed tackle, this time by Rugby Borough. And it's a lovely bit of skill, this, and he could well be through on goal. It's a shot from distance. It was the number 9, as I mentioned, he caused all sorts of problems. Derek Okoye. And you're seeing the Moulton fans there really cheering him on there. But that's the first real clear-cut chance there for Moulton. The shot just wide of the post. But yeah, he has scored 3 goals in this competition. And he was looking to add a 4th there. So McCoy looking to try and get him behind again, but it was well covered by Sharpen Castleton, the captain of Rugby Borough. That's going to be a free kick against the number 11, Adam Shaw of Rugby Borough, for a foul on Luca Iafananto of Moulton. Weston there for Moulton, frustrated with himself there, heading the ball straight out of play for a throw-in, and allows Rugby Borough to get themselves another opportunity in front of goal potentially. Good pass out wide there from Craney, intercepted by Moulton. They're looking to try and take this throw quickly now, Rugby Borough. It's out of play for a throw. Piper over this throw for Rugby. Taking the throw line, intercepted. It's not quite clear the way it is there in the end by Boateng. They look to try and play it off Caillou, who's been causing all sorts of problems in the early going so far. Might be able to catch the keeper of his line. And I think he might have seen something that the rest of us didn't there, because that chance there was well wide of the post there. I think he thought the goalkeeper was off his line a bit more than what he was, Derek Okoye. And he even apologised to his teammates there for the wasteful opportunity. But when you play in a cup final like this, sometimes you see your name up in lights, and I think that's what Derek Okoye saw there. There's still plenty of time in this game. 11 minutes played. It's Rugby Borough 0, Moulton FC 0 in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final, hosted here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium, home of Biggleswade United. He's not happy that the number 9 of Rugby Borough, but he will play on. Referee hasn't seen it. He will blow now. It did look like a little bit of a high boot against Whiteside of Rugby Borough. It did look like the Moulton player did get the ball though, so I can understand the Moulton frustration there. But of course, if it's a head injury, you do have to be careful in this modern day game, that's for sure. It looks to be okay. Apologies there for any foul language you might have heard there on the sideline. And it's going to be a drop ball here. Straight back out of play for Rugby Borough, which is good sportsmanship. Yes, down Rugby Borough. Looks like that when it was played there, but the linesman hasn't seen it. I certainly saw it, but we do play on. This would be a bit controversial if the Moulton can capitalise here. It's the number 10. Nat Ansu on this right-hand side, crossed in, blocked off there by Piper of Rugby Borough, and it's going to be a throw-in back for Moulton. It's Iafano with the cross in here for Moulton. There's no one in the box there, really. Cross went over everybody. And now Rugby Borough might look for a counter-attack here. It's the number 9 Whiteside who's been intercepted. They've cancelled each other out very well in the opening 13 minutes, both teams. There's no real sign of what team will dominate this game. That's a lovely ball. If Okoye can get there, lovely chest down. Okoye takes the shot, and he's blazed it over the bar there, and he's kicking himself, but he's got himself in. He's got himself in that position a few times here, Derek Okoye, and it's only a matter of time if he continues to find the ball in space like that the ball will go in the back of the net. But at the moment, he's not quite found his shooting boots, Derek Okoye. As I mentioned, he scored 3 goals in this competition so far. He's been looking to get a 4th in this cup final. But so far, he hasn't quite found the sweet spot. Goal kick. I wonder whether Rugby Borough might well still be celebrating their promotion, but they won at the weekend. At number 11, Adam Shaw, I mentioned just how dangerous he can be. It's just a slight heavy touch that allowed the goalkeeper Felipe of Moulton to get onto the ball there. His first touch was a little bit too sloppy there, Adam Shaw. Yeah, it's out of play for a throw-in for Rugby. Connor Gamble. And the cross coming in. Whiteside's in the middle. And so is Shaw. That's a deflection. It looked like a deflection. Oh, it's not. Sorry. It did look like a deflection from here, but referee has given goal kick for Moulton. Now, brilliant work trying to tackle there by Moulton's number 7 as they have 1 possession back. So heads that down here, and there's 3 up here, maybe 4 coming up here for Moulton if they can get this right. It's Iafanzo for Moulton. Evans. It's good possession play this from Moulton. Wasn't far off there by Francis Boateng, the Moulton captain. Let fly just wide of the post, and in the end was nothing for Lewis Patchin to worry about in the Rugby Borough goal. Still 0-0. For a throw-in for Rugby Borough. Evans on this left-hand side, cross comes in. So looking to find Whiteside in the middle, just too far from him. He's going to play for a goal kick. Since it is really a real giant killing final for both sides. When you look at the fact that the Division 1, both teams playing the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1, the league below the Premier Division, with Moulton knocking out Premier Division sides Dunstable Town Ellesmere Vale Dynamos and Cockfosters, whilst Rugby Borough themselves knocking out Premier Division sides Leverstock Green, Crawley Green, Ulster Town and Stopfold en route to the final. So it's been a real underdog story for both sides, and it's now the final between two Spartan South Division 1 sides. Well, one of them in Rugby Borough, who got themselves promoted into Step 5 on Saturday, thanks to a 2-0 win against Northampton Chenocks. But as of this season, they are both Step 6, so it does make for a fascinating game, and it certainly has been that, that's for sure. Going for the quick goal kick there, touching, looking to find Shaw, and that's definitely going to be a foul against Francis Boateng, and it's going to be a free kick here for Rugby Borough in a dangerous position as we enter the first 20 minutes of this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It's been played a little bit cagey so far in the opening 20. With I'd probably say Moulton have had the better of the chances so far in front of goal without really testing the goalkeeper, though. However, they've had more chances in front of goal. But we'll see whether Rugby Borough can be clinical here from this set piece with number 10, Adam Craney over this free kick. Rugby Borough, of course, coming in, and someone in the back post is well headed away there by Captain Boateng, and it's out of play for a corner. Interesting, the goalkeeper shouting at the defender saying set pieces, which does make you think, is that a little bit of an Achilles heel for this Moulton team? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Dan Childs over this corner. Oh, bad cross in. The header is forced to save straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper. He takes the goal kick quickly, and it's well cleared by the defender. That's kind of been the story of the game so far, really. Both sides cancel each other out well. Oh, this could be the chance that Okoye wanted there. He's brushed past the defender, goes for goal again. And that's his third opportunity there, Derek Okoye. He's getting closer and closer, but this time he's hit the side netting. It just goes to show there, he's really causing problems, Derek Okoye, for Moulton. It does look like if they are to break the deadlock, it certainly could well come from their number 9. If anyone has any questions whilst watching the stream, I'll try my best to answer about both sides. There's no way you're watching from as well, of course, as well. Good bit of possession is here for Moulton. It's Gamble. Taken away by Iofanso. And then Boateng for Moulton cleared. Good close control there for Okoye. It's good football there from Moulton. Ball coming over the top, and it was well timed there, and it had to be by Sean Castleton to intercept. So, lovely ball there, and now they could well be through here. Rugby Borough, the number 7 could well be through on goal. Takes for the shot, it's saved, and in tap home is the number 7, Halim for Rugby Borough. First chance they've really had on target, second chance they've had on target there, and it was Halim, the goal scorer. The goalkeeper, Felipe, probably thought he probably feels he could have done better there, but with the shot ricocheted and then rebound. But Rugby Borough, as I mentioned, got themselves promotion at the weekend, looking to try and continue their good spirits now at the end of this season with a Cup win under their belt, and they've got themselves the first goal in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It's Rugby Borough 1, Moulton 0. Halim, the goal scorer. As I mentioned, it actually looked like Moulton out of the two sides. It looked like they were certainly the closest team to getting ahead, but as I mentioned, Moulton finished 8th for this season in their league. So Rugby Borough is 3rd, and then they got themselves promoted as well. So they're used to scoring, I think, more goals than Moulton this year, and certainly look more clinical in front of goal. And just seeing a few wasteful opportunities for Moulton so far, and they've been punished by Rugby Borough, but still very early in this cup final, 24 minutes in, and it's certainly still to play for. As they look for a quick response now, Moulton with Okoye once again, the low cross in, and it's blocked, and it's a good response here from Moulton. They've got themselves a corner. Hi, what's been the most memorable moment for you this season? For me, it was the 3rd round FA Vars penalty shootout and that magic strike from Jordan Wright. That's a very questionary. I will answer that question quickly whilst we get to this corner. I've got a couple. The Jordan Wright strike, definitely. Only it's been fluffed there by the goalkeeper and then almost cleared off the line there by Rugby Borough. They were let off there, and Moulton nearly had a swift equaliser. But going back to your question, Harry, that's not quite cleared by the goalkeeper there either. For me, the Taylor Winey free kick at London Colney was a special one for us. Me and Nick in particular managed to film it in the perfect space, scoring that last-minute winner as well. A fantastic free kick, as he's done all season there, Taylor Winey. This hasn't been quite cleared by Rugby Borough. It has by Moulton. It has in the end. I would probably say the free kick, the Vars as well. The penalty shootout in the Vars as well. That was special. They're definitely up there for me. But in terms of goals, I'd probably have to say the Jordan Wright strike and the Taylor Winey free kick at London Colney were my two best moments. The best moments I think so of the season, as well as there were so many. The cup final, the penalty shootout as well against Lakenheath. And even the Leighton Town shootout as well. It's just what I'm saying. I'm thinking of so many already. There's hopefully much more memorable moments to come next season. For anyone following us at Biggleswade United, of course, it's a new era under Gaz and Jordan next year. And with the introduction of playoffs in the Spartan South Midlands League Premier Division, certainly looks like there's going to be a lot more to play for a lot of teams, including ourselves. So should be a very good season, let's hope. As for this one, 26 minutes played in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It's Rugby Borough 1, Moulton FC 0, and Moulton got themselves a free kick. They've reacted well since going a goal down, and it's definitely a free kick. They've responded like you would want your team to respond after going a goal down, and they've been really on the front foot. And the thing they've got to worry about is Rugby Borough on the counter attack. They're very dangerous, and that's almost where they got their first goal, really, on the counter attack. Caught out Moulton defensively, and Halim took the first chance, which was saved by the goalkeeper and wasn't quite caught, which allowed him to then shoot and score the rebound. It's always good to be alert, and he did well, Halim, for the first goal. But now Rugby Borough will have to make sure that they're good defensively here. And for Moulton, of course, they're looking to find themselves an equaliser in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. Bit wasteful there for Moulton, and it's out of play for a goal kick. Moulton dominating the ball since going a goal down. As I mentioned, they've reacted really well since going the goal down. They haven't let it affect their spirits in the game, and they're still fighting on. So it's Rugby Borough who, despite the lack of chances compared to Moulton, do find themselves one goal up in the cup final. And one thing in football, most important statistic is goals. And at the moment, Rugby Borough have got themselves a goal up. They certainly look more clinical in front of goal as well. That's a missed kick there from Moulton. A chance for Rugby Borough to try and double their lead in this cup final. Lovely ball here, and Adam Shaw's found himself in space. It's a low cross, it's blocked, but it's not quite out, and it's a brilliant goal. It's a fantastic goal, and they have doubled their lead. I think it's the number 9 who's got on the end of it, Charlie Whiteside. And I mentioned they've been very clinical in this cup final. And once again, a brilliant chance there from Charlie Whiteside. Moulton complaining that there should have been a potential free kick, maybe a handball in the build-up or an offside, maybe call that they're looking at. They're not happy with the linesman, but Rugby Borough might not look like they've created too much, but full credit to them, they've took their chances and they find themselves 2 goals up. And for all the possession that Moulton have created in this first half, it's Rugby Borough that have been the much more clinical team, and they find themselves 2 goals up in the opening half an hour of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final, and they've intercepted right from the kickoff here. It's Whiteside, the goal scorer, intercepting very quickly as they want to try and get this cup final out of sight before half time potentially. It's Gamble. Still Gamble here, Connor Gamble. It's a good run. And he found himself off balance there with the cross, and it's out of play for a goal kick. And I think Derek Okoye down the other end might be absolutely kicking himself in the opening 10 minutes. He could create 2 or 3 chances in front of goal. He couldn't quite connect with them. You have to feel if he took them a little bit better, this game could be very different. But that's football for you. If you take your chances and you score your goals, that's what makes the difference. You've certainly seen that from Rugby Borough tonight so far. They look to try and assert their dominance now, being 2 goals up in the opening half an hour of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. That's going to be out of play now for a Moulton throw. Moulton will want to try and get themselves a goal back before half time here, and it would certainly, as we know, 2-goal scoreline can be a dangerous scoreline in football. It would be important here for Moulton to get themselves the next goal to really stay in this contest, because if they can see the third, you would it's still be an uphill battle, that's for sure. Another standout moment for Biggleswade United this season actually was in the opening round of this competition, the highest scoring game I've ever commentated on, which was Biggleswade United 8, Old Bradwell United 5. I was reminded by looking at the programme this evening that was in this competition. And what was a quite incredible 13-goal thriller here at the Keith's Biscayne Stadium. It was actually 7-2 with 10 minutes to go. So we weren't really happy by the end of the game, despite going through. But yeah, it's definitely one of the most highest scoring games this season in this competition, that's for sure. If not the highest, I would say. You know, Rugby Borough winning the ball back. from Moulton as they look to try and dispatch a third. It's been intercepted. It's not quite being cleared out. It's the top of the Peter Dean stand and out of play for a throw into Moulton. Looking for the cross. It's blocked off by Rugby Borough. They've kept one up for a potential counter. Rugby Borough. It's good pressing there by Whiteside. But it has gone out of play for a throw into Moulton. They need to take it quickly. It's now. It's a lovely bit of football here. Cross coming in, bit of deflection. And it's luckily straight into the gloves of the Rugby Borough goalkeeper, Lewis Patchin. Don't know if he knew too much about that, though. 10 minutes to go before half-time in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It's Rugby Borough 2, Moulton 0 here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium, home of Biggleswade United. It's Nat Ansu on the ball here for Moulton as they look to try and get themselves back into this cup final. They've got themselves a free kick in a decent position. Tom O'Neill over this free kick for Moulton. Coming in, it's gone all the way through. Still could be danger here. It's well blocked by the defender. Moulton looking to try and continue the pressure. It's well intercepted there by Rugby Borough. They've got numbers forward here for a potential counter. A bit lucky there with the ball there, but Adam Shaw just about keeps the ball in play. I mean, well challenged there by Boateng, intercepted. That was such a crucial interception there from Boateng. He had to make that challenge clean. He did brilliantly well. It's Moulton now looking to try and get the ball back up here on the counter attack. The flag's offside against Okoye. I'm not sure he knows too much about it. Shot was saved there, and I think he just didn't quite time his run. I think the ball was actually meant for. It looked like the ball was actually meant for Joey Evans there, but he's left it for Okoye, who unfortunately was coming from an offside position, so the flag's up for offside. Deception there from Boateng from Moulton to no Rugby Borough going through there. It's 8 minutes played. Rugby Borough 2, Moulton 0 in this cup final. Long throwing comes in. Just been cleared there from Moulton. To get ball forward here again, Moulton. It's headed away. Sorry, Rugby Borough. Cleared the line as well there. So play for a throw-in. Moulton looking to try and get themselves a goal back just before half-time. Got a good few more minutes to do it. He's done well, shrugged off the defender. Cross comes in. It's come to Iafansu. It's blocked off by Rugby Borough. Just the crucial point now. And now a shot, potentially from distance. Wasn't quite sure if that was a shot or a pass, but it's gone back to Rugby Borough. You look to try and pick Moulton off the counter-attack, which is exactly how they scored their first goal. Well intercepted, though, by Moulton, that are going to get the ball back up the pitch now with Luca looking for a Koyu. It's well covered. He's looking for it's a brilliant chance there from Adam Shaw, who's hurt himself. He's been clipped, I think. He's definitely felt something as he's kicked the ball. Moulton are going to continue, but he's still in some distress here. So he back up. He's in some discomfort, Adam Shaw. It's off your screen, and it looks like he's certainly been clipped. I think he's definitely in some discomfort here, Adam Shaw. And he's feeling that left thigh, it looks like. Looks like a bit of a sore one. And it gives an opportunity for both sides, really, to have a little talking to, in particular Moulton, who find themselves 2 goals down in this cup final. It's a crucial point in the game. And as I mentioned, the next goal is so crucial now. And for Rugby Borough, they put this cup final to bed. And for Moulton, they'll want to, if they get themselves a goal back, it's a lifeline, an opportunity to get themselves well back into this game. Looks to just be putting some water on it. It's just a miraculous recovery by Adam Shaw. That's quite incredible. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Imagine, I don't know what's in that water, but certainly works for Adam Shaw, so fair play to him. That's the beauty of non-league, that is. Looks to be okay to continue. Yeah. We're back underway. Adam Shaw is back on the pitch of play. So we are back to 11 versus 11 in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. If you are just joining us, 2 goals by Rugby Borough. Goal scorers were Halim and Charlie Whiteside, that put Rugby Borough 2 goals up against Moulton FC, a team who they haven't actually beaten this season. Twice, both times in the league, and both times Moulton were the victors, looking to try and break that duck in a chance to win silverware for both teams. An opportunity to make history. First time they've both got to this cup final, and it could well be a historic night for either side. And at the moment, Rugby Borough look to be firmly on their way to winning the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final for the first time in their history. But still a lot more football to play, and Moulton have looked very dangerous themselves, so I wouldn't quite rule them out just yet. Okoye is down now for Moulton. Looked like a bit of a clash of heads there. And now it's Okoye who will be getting some treatment. Looks to be okay. Which is good to see. So we get into the final minutes of the first 45. It's been a highly contested cup final between Rugby Borough and Moulton FC. A tale of two teams, one that have definitely took their chances and one who hasn't, I have to say. Both teams probably even on the opportunities and the chances, but Rugby Borough have been a hell of a lot more clinical and have shown exactly why they are actually going up into Step 5 themselves after gaining promotion at the weekend in a playoff final. So now Moulton looking to try and get themselves back into this contest. They will do that if they can get themselves a goal back before half time. And Rugby Borough now looking on the counter attack. Adam Shaw's in acres of space. If they can find him, it's Whiteside. Out to Halim. It's Nagai. Charles. Piper. So Halim. It's a low cross. That's good to stay in. It's well blocked by Boateng again. He's certainly been the standout player defensively for Moulton. As we are into stoppage time of the first half. For the shirt goes over the bar. And I'm sure there'll probably be a couple of minute stoppages potentially. There was a couple of injury stoppages, so I'm sure we'll probably have another minute or so left of this first half. It's been a highly contested match so far. Rugby Borough took them a while to get going in this cup final, but once they did, then they've never really looked back, and they've really showed their dominance against Moulton in this first half so far. But Moulton still fighting and still not themselves try and get back into this contest, because one goal can change the whole complexion of this game. And if Moulton get it, we're certainly on for a grandstand finish in the second half, that's for sure. And that's a lovely ball over the top, and he might have got a bit of luck here. Oh, shot again over the bar. And they just can't seem to keep their shots down at the moment. And I think that's the third or fourth opportunity over the bar for Moulton. They just cannot seem to keep that ball under the post, under the bar, really. And that's been their real problem in front of goal so far. And it's really been the story of the match for Moulton, just not been that clinical in front of goal. And I think that's what's cost them in this first half. That'll probably be one of the last plays of the half. That is the half-time whistle in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final, where Rugby Borough find themselves in full control of this cup final. It is Rugby Borough 2, Moulton FC 0 here at the Keats Hospice Care Stadium, home of Biggleswade United. We would like to thank all of our sponsors here at Biggleswade United. Winchmore Brickwork for being the men's first team sponsor for Biggleswade United. We'd also like to thank J&B Motorsport for being our vets team sponsor, VO for being our women's senior team sponsor, Flawless Landscapes for being our reserve team sponsor, Recycling Lines for being our general sponsor, and the Keats Hospice Care for being our ground sponsor. So far, Rugby Borough, it's been a tale of two teams. One team that has been very good in front of goal, and one in Moulton that haven't been quite great in front of goal, really. And that's really been the difference. One team took their chances and one team hasn't. We've still got another 45 minutes to play, so do not go anywhere in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final between Rugby Borough and Moulton. It is 2-0 to Rugby Borough, and we will be right back for the start of the second half. Do not go anywhere.
today it's Newcastle United Day. I'll tell you why. In fact, let me get somebody else to tell you.
So in sprint, your figures, weights, pictures, images are ready. So come through, you can have a look.
Let's go. Hello, everyone. Massive place.
I'll show you more about what's going on and everything and all that.
So, that's the...
Yeah. That's the other one.
Yeah.
I select from both and then click on the meat. This is the quality.
Uh-huh.
Then the best quality. Fuel. This is the fuel.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. What now?
You want me to cook it?
No, we got it right. We got it right. Can I feel useful? Thank you. See, we're helping now. Welcome to the changing room of the home team, Borough United. What do we think? What do we think?
Good, very good.
Oh, you're on twice. Let me see. Once. Twice. So are you, Tracy? Once. Twice. Now I thought the other mural could actually go somewhere that reminds the players that they are the club, but they're not just there on their own. Let me show you. There. He is also here. Hello from Eagles Rate Market in the Market Square. Mr. Branson's in town, so just place it for you. But look what they've got in the front. Our shirt. Come inside with me. You've got everything you need here, all the sporting gear, and not just sporting gear. Where is the corner? We've got the shirt here at the front. Doesn't it look great? But let's find out if we're actually selling any of it. How is it going?
It's going very well, thank you.
Are we selling anything?
We are.
Are we?
We've sold quite a few tops, but I need some bigger sizes.
All right.
Double XLs, even 3XL.
Okay.
All the big men round here. Been asked quite a few times. And scarves, hats.
Oh, yes.
And then I can make a big display for you.
Brilliant. We're getting all that.
All.
Yeah, I think. Well, this is great news. So I'll sort all that out. I'll talk to the right people.
You know, that's one of the things. I have people, customers coming in here asking when the matches are on and if they're playing today, and I'm like,
Just say.
have you got a list? Have you got a list?
We've got that. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. there's a game on.
Okay.
Every Sunday, 2 p.m. there's a woman's game on. But I'll give you a lifter for that. So this is great.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank
Well,
you
we
very
just
much.
want more stock, so then I can do more of a display for you.
We'll definitely do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Let's go and win the game. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? There it is. Come on, Beagles, wait.
We are back out for the second half in this Spartan South Midlands League Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. As I mentioned, it's been a tale of two sides, one that have taken their chances and one who unfortunately have not. And Moulton, for all the possession they've had in that first half and the chances they had in front of goal, they just weren't clinical to really test goalkeeper Lewis Patchin in the Rugby Borough net, and they've been punished for that by a very good Rugby Borough team this evening so far, with goals from Halim and Charlie Whiteside, putting Rugby Borough in firm control of this cup final. You have to feel if Moulton want to get back into this cup final, they have to score very early into this second half in order to get an opportunity to potentially take it to a potential shootout. And you just never know in a cup final what can happen. So do not go anywhere, because it's said to be a fascinating second half here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. We at Biggleswade United are proud to be hosting the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final, and we hope that you enjoy our live coverage this evening. And it will be Moulton that'll be kicking us off, as they will look for a very fast start to try and get themselves back into this cup final. And I think if you're their manager, Gary Petts, at half-time, I think you tell them you've had the chances in this game. You just got to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal. And if I can really test the goalkeeper, you just never know what can happen in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. But we are underway here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium, home of Biggleswade United. I'm, of course, your commentator, Ryan Madden, this evening. Proud to be covering this Gladwish Challenge Trophy Cup final. And what a lot of people are dubbing the underdog final between two Spartan South Midlands League Division 1 teams, Rugby Borough and Moulton FC. They've knocked out 6 Premier Division sides between them en route to the final. And Moulton have got themselves a very early corner in this second half as they look to try and get themselves. They look to try and half the deficit to 1.
Yeah, I will jump on and off.
It's going to be a corner here for Moulton FC. It's coming in. It's gone all the way through, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick, and that could have really ended up anywhere. It was a decent ball in, but no one could really get themselves on the end of it. There's a bit of a let-off there for Rugby Borough, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick. And this kick there by Connor Gamble. Ball comes in behind Okoye. Found the space in behind here. Defender did well to shrug him off there. Just gave him a few extra yards of space there. The number 5, Sean Castleton, captain of Rugby Borough, did just about enough there to put Okoye off. They go for the long throw. It's headed away by Castleton, only as far. It's back with Moulton, as I mentioned, started the second half very brightly. Low cross coming in, cleared by Rugby Borough, who I'm sure will be doing quite a few bit defending this second half, defending this 2-goal lead that they have. Dan Carter, the Rugby Borough manager, has been delighted with that 2-goal deficit in that first half. Interception there by Moulton. It's to go back up the pitch. Intercepted there by Josh Mulleney. And Moulton looking to try and find some space to get themselves back into this cup final. Sekoyu fouled free kick, and it's in a real good position here for Moulton. And as I mentioned, they've started this second half on top, as you would expect a team that are 2 goals down in a cup final. They're really in a position now where they've got nothing to lose, and get themselves a goal back, they'll certainly fancy themselves to get back into this game. And they had to start this second half on the front foot, and they've done it just that, Moulton FC. They've got themselves a free kick in a dangerous position. Opportunity to half the deficit against Rugby Borough. It's Nathaniel Ansu over this free kick for Moulton FC. Big moment, this feels like, in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It's Nathaniel Ansu for Moulton over this free kick. He's in a very good position too. It's just wide of the post. It was far off. Didn't quite have the pace and the accuracy on the free kick there, Ansu, and Rugby Borough can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there, keeping their 2-goal lead intact. That's kind of really been the story of Moulton in front of goal so far in this cup final. Just haven't really been able to test Lewis Patchin in the Rugby Borough nets. The opportunities they've had, the majority of them have been off target, and that's really been their Achilles heel so far in this cup final. O'Neill. Back out to O'Neill. So loose ball, it's a frustrated loose ball there from Moulton. It's an opportunity here for Rugby Borough to get themselves back up the pitch from this throw-in just past the halfway. We saw just how clinical Rugby Borough were in front of goal in that first half. You have to feel if they get themselves a third, the game might just be too far for Moulton to recover from. The ball over the top here that Adam Shaw was certainly chasing and fancy this as well. He's got himself the ball, intercepted by Boateng. An intriguing battle in that first half, Shaw against Boateng. And a shot from distance, just over the bar. Couldn't quite work out who that was that took on the strike. It looks like it was the number 9, Charlie Whiteside for Rugby Borough. Good play in the number 11 of Moulton there, but he just had no support with him there. Oh, lovely bit of skill there by Luca Afansia, but again, he's not really getting much help with him there. Now it's a bit of a loose ball. It's come back out. Moulton certainly, despite being 2 goals down in this final, certainly aren't giving up, and they're certainly giving Rugby Borough a game in this second half. Heavy touch back to the goalkeeper. That's a foul free kick. Moulton FC taking the free kick quickly. The only thing Moulton are really missing this game so far is just in front of goal. Their build-up play has been really good in this game. They're just really lacking in front of goal and being clinical. But as for Rugby Borough, full credit to them because they've been very clinical in this game despite having very few chances. And they could well have another here. It's Adam Shaw carrying on this run. The goalkeeper spilled it and it's cleared off the line. by Boateng, and you have to feel if that goal goes in there, the game goes away from Moulton, and that just goes to show Rugby Borough once again showing just how good they are on the counter-attack, because they very nearly caught Moulton out again there for a third. If it wasn't for Boateng that had to clear off his line, and it's out of play for a corner. Coming in cleared there by Luca Iofancio. Good up, cleared there by Moulton. It's good interception and very good defensively by the Borough as well. And they've had to be, because the amount of time Moulton had the ball in that final third, they've been very good defensively and then very clinical going forward, and that's really been the difference. But because of that play, it's going to be a throw into Rugby Borough. They've weathered that early storm by Moulton, and now they're looking to get more control in this second half, and they'll certainly be happy with the scoreline. And that's all that matters really in a cup final, that's for sure. Intercepted there by Moulton, but it could well be a counter here for Rugby Borough. There's no foul. Oh, it is a foul. I thought he might have got the ball there, the Rugby Borough players. Halim, in all fairness, but referee said free kick. Now Rugby Borough back up the pitch themselves here with Whiteside. Got space, and that's a teasing ball there to Adam Shaw, and couldn't quite find the pass there. Whiteside, and if he finds the pass, he's in one-on-one, and he's almost looking at game over with Adam Shaw's record in this competition. But he's done very well. The goalkeeper has just put Shaw off there. It's helped by the lack of pass there from Whiteside, and now Moulton got themselves a free kick in their attacking half. I mentioned just how dangerous a two-goal scoreline can be. We've seen it here with Biggleswade United. With Biggleswade coming, one of the famous ones was a different cup competition, I believe, but Biggleswade United beaten Bovington by 4-2 away from home this season, coming back from 2 goals down with 10 minutes to go and winning 4-2. So it can happen. You do see teams coming back from 2 goals down. If Moulton get one, you just never know. But got themselves some space here on this right-hand side. It's Iofancio, who's certainly caused a few problems on that right-hand side, but he's been dispossessed very well by Rugby Borough. Stayed in play, though. Moulton continue their attack. Flicked on, but straight to a feet of a Rugby Borough player, and now they're looking for a counter-attack. Adam Shaw's got the jets on here for Rugby Borough, and he's slight little shove there in the back there, but I think it's more of a shoulder barge there. There's nothing in that, and he's not even complaining about it, so fair play to him. And it's now Joey Evans. Flicked on. Stefano Koyu. His possesses now back with Joey Evans, and he scored. It's 2-1. The flag's up for offside. It's not going to count. And the linesman is absolutely furious. The referee's going to have a word as well. Because interestingly, the referee, it certainly looks like it might have come off the defender, meaning it wouldn't be offside. The referee is having a word with the linesman. This is a big call, this. From here, I can definitely see Moulton's discrepancies here. The referee is giving the free kick. Wow, that's an interesting decision there. I have to say, as someone who's watching this as a complete neutral and covering this game as a complete neutral, that's a big call. And from here, it's interesting to see whether he was in an offside position when that ball was played in, but the ball's then come off the defender, and that's what Moulton are not happy about. And if you're a Moulton fan watching this, you definitely feel that this game should well be 2-1, but it is still 2-0 to Rugby Borough. Good finish there by Joey Evans, but it's not going to count for anything. It's certainly a bit of positivity, though, for Moulton. It's the first time they've had a shot on target, and they're not even going to get that one registered, really, now, because it was offside. Oh, that's a crunching tackle on Okoye. It's a free kick. He got the ball, but he certainly got more of the man there. Free kick to Moulton, half an hour to go. And Moulton find themselves 2 goals down in this cup final against Rugby Borough. We've already had a goal ruled out in this second half for offside, looking to try and halve the deficit and really cause a real grandstand finish in this cup final. It's headed on, it's free kick goes against Moulton there, and foul against the number 8, Emmanuel Asante. With the foul and the free kick, it looked like a little bit of a 50-50 there, but the referee's given the foul, and it's going to be a free kick to Rugby Borough. It looks like a substitution will be on offer. I'm not quite sure for which side just yet. And it's Luca Iofancio coming off for Moulton. I'm not quite sure. Of Darren Fotso coming on for Moulton. So it's the first substitution of the day. Goes to Moulton. Getting the ball back up the pitch here. Headed away. Back forward with Moulton, but that's cleared his lines well there. Ash Piper of Rugby Borough. Full credit to Moulton being 2-0 down in this cup final. They're certainly making a game of this, and they're certainly making Rugby Borough earn all of this victory. If they do get the victory, of course, that is. But Moulton, they will be for the one for trying. But the shot, it's a lovely strike. Forced a great save. It was, I think that was the number 10, and Nathaniel Ansu. And it's going to be a corner. It's a great, fantastic save there from Lewis Patchin of Rugby Borough. And it's going to be a corner here for Moulton. There's 63 minutes played. It's Moulton 0, Rugby Borough 2 And Moulton really trying to push to get themselves back in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. Cross coming in. Header is always has to hit the target there, surely. Nathaniel Ansell will be absolutely kicking himself. Right point blank range, and it's just gone wide. Off the post. That's really been the story of Moulton's game. They would feel aggrieved for not being. Now it looks like there's going to be a yellow card here for Okoye. I think Okoye has been sent to the sin bin. He has. Okoye has been Moulton down to 10 men. Okoye has, I believe, got himself a 10-minute sin bin, maybe a 15-minute sin bin, for what I can only imagine is due to the sent towards the referee. We've seen that a couple of times in this division, or in the division that we've, whilst I've been covering Big West Lake United. So, got a bit of background research on sin bins. And Moulton, one of the talisman, sent off temporarily, and it'll be a real opportunity now for Rugby Borough with the extra man to really try and pick off Moulton now. In the 15 minutes they have the one-man advantage. I believe it's a 15 minutes, so apologies if it's wrong. If it ain't 15, it is definitely 10. That's a free kick to Moulton. That's why the extra man would have been vital there for Moulton, but obviously find themselves temporarily down to 10 men. Thanks to the sin bin of Derek Okoye. Ansu. Intercepted. Spartan looking to find Ansu, headed away by Rugby Borough once again, who are really holding firm defensively and holding tight of this 2-goal lead in this second half in the Gladwish Challenge Cup final. Now, Ansu there with some dancing feet. He's kept the ball on there. He's done well. So Manuel Asante finds him on the right-hand side, just too far. It's been intercepted, and now Rugby Borough have the players forward. Been intercepted by Boateng just at the right time there. "22 minutes left in this Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. It is Moulton FC 0, Rugby Borough 2. Temporarily, Moulton down to 10 men. Thanks to Derek Okoye, who is currently in the sin bin. They look for bodies forward here and trying to kill off the game here. Rugby Borough with the one-man advantage they have. But full credit to Moulton, who certainly aren't playing like they're down 10 men at the moment. But interception there. Cross coming in. Gone all the way through, and it's gone out of play for a corner for Rugby Borough. It's a corner here for Rugby Borough. It's away by Moulton. Bounce over Ansu's head. Straight into the feet of a Moulton player here. Ansu's got the jets on. It's actually intercepted. It's going to be out to play from throw-in for Moulton. That's the substitution here. Ash Piper off for number 15, George Price of Rugby Borough. Substitution confirmation. Number 2, Ash Piper coming off for number 15, George Price. Playing for a throw-in. Still down to 10 men at the moment, Moulton. Tom O'Neill. Being cleared there by Rugby Borough. Well over. Cross coming in. It's just too far. Right into the goalkeeper's gloves, just telling his team to calm down here. The game is in their grasp for Rugby Borough, who might not have had many chances going forward in this second half, but in all fairness, when you're 2-0 up, you don't really need to create much more. They've been sitting back defensively, allowing Moulton to really attack them, and they've been really strong defensively. And just like this, hitting them on the counter-attack, and they could well do it again here, Rugby Borough. And it's Halim who got us underway here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium of the opening goal. That's deflected. That's going to be out of play for another corner for Rugby Borough. Looks like a Moulton player comes down. Looks to be in some discomfort. Not quite sure who that is down, so we'll try and see who that is. Goal at this point in the game for Rugby Borough surely put their name on the trophy. Cross coming in, headed away by Moulton. They look to try and possess the counter-attack of their own. Still down to 10 men at the moment as well. Ran to the Simbi, but Evans could well be in. Brilliant covering there by the goalkeeper, Lewis Patchin, who's made some cracking saves in this second half to keep this 2-goal scoreline intact for his team. There's a throw-in to Moulton FC. Away. It's a big occasion for both clubs, as I mentioned. First time then both sides have got to this stage of the competition. The first time they've entered this competition, I believe, as well. And they've both got themselves to the final, beating teams such as Cockfosters, Stotfold, Dunstable Town, Crawley Green and Elsie Town, all Premier Division sides that both sides respectively have knocked out on their route to the final. It's a real underdog final, which Rugby Borough, who will be going into Step 5 next season themselves after winning the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1 playoff final against Northampton Chenocks at the weekend, looking to add to their trophy cabinet. And as it stands, they're well on course to be doing that, with them being 2-0 up inside the final 15 minutes. It's been a real struggle, and Moulton have really made a hard work, really giving them a game. It's been a tale of two sides, one that does take their chances and one that doesn't. Adam Shaw to finish it off, and he's got himself 3 goals in this competition. You would have fancied him to score from there, and that certainly would have put the game to bed. As I think Okoye will be ready to come on any second now, as he's about to finish his sin bin. Going to be a couple of minutes left of the sin bin, but Adam Shaw had a glorious opportunity there to really put his team's name on the trophy. They're still pushing on here. They've only got a couple of minutes left to being against 10 men as well. They want to try and capitalise on that. Adam Shaw's dispossessed by Boateng, who I have to say certainly been one of Moulton's best players this evening. And Okoye looks to be coming back on to play, so we will be back to 11 against 11 for the final 14 minutes of the 90. And for all the chances Moulton have had, they haven't been clinical in front of goal. I mentioned it many a times in this game so far. And it's been a tale of two teams, one that has been very clinical in front of goal and one that hasn't quite been there in front of goal, really. And that's kind of summed up Moulton, really. They haven't quite been as clinical. And in a cup final, you have to take your chances. And Rugby Borough have certainly done that so far. As a throw-in, I think that 10-minute spell of being down to 10 men kind of took the zing out of Moulton a little bit. The shot, brilliant save by the goalkeeper to keep his team's hopes alive. Felipe Nadurkries with a fantastic save to keep the score at 2-0. So Rugby Borough, it's gone out of play for a corner. Corner taken short. Slow cross in. There's no one in the box. It was a lovely pass, but there was no one in the right place. And Moulton now look well, might try themselves a counter-attack here. Well, cleared once again. That's how good Rugby Borough have been, so good defensively. Be on his toes here. Interception there by Joe Evans. Oh, past Joe Coyle there, whenever he looked on. Now it's going to be a foul, free kick. A foul on Adam Shaw. It's going to be a yellow card for Francis Boateng. Into the final 10 minutes of the 90. It looks like Rugby Borough will be our victors, but there's still another 10 minutes to play. And it is Derek Okoye, and it hasn't quite been his afternoon. He had a very bright first half. He got himself in the sin bin, though, in the second half, unfortunately, and it kind of cost his team for 10 minutes. And he comes off. He's had a good campaign in this competition, 3 goals. But he couldn't quite get on the score sheet today, and I didn't quite see who came on. I believe it was number 16, JJ McCarthy, but I will double check that for the people watching from home. And it's a free kick here for Rugby Borough at the end of the final 10 minutes of this Gladwish Challenge Trophy Cup final. It's in behind, intercepted by Moulton. So there'll be a foul free kick for Moulton, but Rugby Borough won't mind too much. It allows the clock to tick down a little bit longer because the time is certainly against Moulton now. Number 7, Dylan Weston coming off for number 15, Cole Mason. Moulton, if they can get themselves a goal back now, certainly does set up a grandstand finish. Intercepted again. They just seem to have way too many bodies in the back there for Moulton to handle, and they've been excellent defensively, Rugby Borough, tonight. It's a foul free kick going towards Moulton. This Rugby Borough looks to try and get themselves over the line now in the final 8 minutes of the 90. Everyone will be up for this for Moulton, and rightly so in these circumstances. It's not allowing the free kick to be taken from there. A couple more yards further back. They look to load up the box here. And then it's always straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper, and he'll take his time with this now. Lewis Patchin. As it looks like Rugby Borough, for the 3rd time lucky, might well have Moulton's number for the first time this season after losing twice to them in the league. They look to put that right tonight, and they look to be 6.5 minutes away from silverware. Winning the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final for the first time in their history. Might look to try and finish it off here, Rugby Borough. Headed away. It's very loose. It's back with Rugby Borough. Could be another chance to come through. Adam Shaw almost waited to line it up there, and Borotan did just about enough to put him off. It's now back with Shaw. Keeps it in play as well. He's done well. Low cross. Blocked off. And then cleared away. He's done just about enough there to get the ball back here for Moulton. For the ball over the top. It's headed away. Moulton are still trying. They've got 4 minutes left. Time is very much against them. For Rugby Borough, they've done what they've had to do in this game. They've got them the 2-goal deficit, and they've I don't want to say hold on to it, because they've done really, they have done well going forward, but they've absorbed all the pressure from Moulton, and again their defender there on the substitutes that came on there, George Price, heading that away and out of play for a goal, for a corner. They have to fill it, surely, with the Moulton. Surely they bring everyone forward at this point, because they get themselves a goal from here, it would certainly be game on. They've left one back. It's a low cross and it's straight to the first man. It was a poor cross from the corner. And it's a substitution for Rugby Borough. It's the number 9, the goal, the moment, the match winner, Charlie Whiteside, coming off. His goal, the difference in this game. Charlie Whiteside coming off for number 14, Josh Cook. The long throw. They want a penalty there. Referee says no. Moulton. Time is very much against them at the moment, and Rugby Borough are holding firm. They look to be on course to win it, but they're still not giving up. Moulton, credit to them. Wasn't a bad ball either, but number 14 couldn't quite get his foot onto it then. Adam Jordan. away, flicked on, looking for Jordan. That's good defending there from Boateng. I think the game is slowly getting away from Moulton, and full credit to Rugby Borough because defensively they have been very good and they were clinical in that first half to get themselves that 2-goal lead, and they've held firm ever since. They want the free kick. And the referee says no. I think there might be a bit of an agreement if you're a Moulton supporter with some of the decisions this evening. It'd be interesting to see about that offside call. That's a bit of skill. And it's defended very well by Rugby Borough. In the cup final, it's all about getting the goals to win the game, and Rugby Borough have done just that. Moulton not clinical enough really in front of goal, and it's cost them this final, I have to admit. But full credit, as I said, to Rugby Borough, defensively sound and clinical in front of goal, and it's made the difference between the two sides. And we're welcoming them to Step 5 next season as well after they got promotion over the weekend, winning their playoff final against the Northampton Chenecks. Team that Biggleswade United did quite well from the Atlantic Counties League last season, and his stoppage time is actually up. That's the first time I've seen that here. Fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of injury time, so we've still got 4 minutes of stoppage time to play here at the Keats Hospice Care Stadium. Rugby Borough 4 minutes away from becoming the Gladwish Challenge Trophy champions of 2023. They want something for that, but they're not going to get it. And Moulton aren't happy there. They thought that was out of play. Three minutes stoppage time left to play. It's Rugby Borough look to try and see this out now. They've held firm this second half. They've been up against it's been a real tough test for them in the second half. They've been really up against it against a real Brazilian Moulton team, looking to try and get themselves back in the game, but they just haven't had the quality in front of goal to really had that really good chance that forced a great save out of Lewis Patchin. But apart from that, in front of goal, they haven't been clinical enough, really. And in a cup final, you have to take your chances. And Rugby Borough have done that, and Moulton haven't. That's really been the difference between the two sides. They look to try and finish the game off here. They want a flag. That has now gone up against Adam Craney. Comfy. Gonna get the ball back up the pitch there. It's a loose ball, and Rugby Borough, you'd think, would not be in much of a rush to take this throw in. Trying to Moulton, but the ball is in the exact place that Rugby Borough would want it at the moment, and caught there by the goalkeeper. This is a loose ball here, and he could well be in here. Adam Shaw did well there, Boateng, to cover his man. Bringing the goal kick up really early there, but come straight back to Rugby Borough, which is exactly where they'd want the ball. They've only got a minute left to play. Maybe they take it to the corner flag, but there's bodies in the box here. It's actually a corner ball. So it's exactly where Rugby Borough would want it. 2-0 up in this Gladwish Challenge Cup final, and they've got themselves a corner in the final minute of stoppage time. We'd, of course, like to thank all of our sponsors here at Biggleswade United, Winchmore Brookwork for being our men's first team sponsor, JMB Motorsports for being our vets team sponsor, Flawless Landscapes for being our reserve team sponsor, VO for being our women's senior team sponsor, Recycling Life for being our ground sponsor, and the Keach Hospice Care for being our ground sponsor. Keach Hospice Care for being our ground sponsor, and that is the full-time whistle. Congratulations to Rugby Borough, who are the winners of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy this season for the first time in their history. And it was a game really decided by one team who took their chances and one team that didn't. And you would argue that that is what football is, but the chances that Moulton did have, particularly also in that first half, they just couldn't quite get the shots on target. They couldn't quite keep the ball down. And for Rugby Borough, they did take their chances and they scored the goals with goals from Halim and Charlie Whiteside, the difference in that first half. And Moulton put up a hell of a fight in that second half, but Rugby Borough held firm to keep that 2-goal deficit and become winners of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. And it was a history-making day for both teams, getting to the final, both of them for the first time. And one of them, unfortunately, had to be a loser tonight after what has been a colossal effort by both to get to the final. It is Rugby Borough who are the victors and win the trophy for the first time in their history. So big congratulations to Rugby Borough and winning the Gladwish Challenge Trophy final. I think we will be having a presentation very soon. So do stick with us. We'll be right back for the presentation of for the Gladwish Challenge Trophy very soon. Just a quick message from our sponsors. play of the match there. Presentations here on the Gladwish Challenge Trophy.
Next presentation is Moulton captaincy.
We've also got some individual awards first that have been laid out.
Next presentation to the Moulton manager. Next presentation to the Rugby Borough manager.
Good, Cap.
Slowest physio in the world. You're quick to get out, fella. This evening. Congratulations to number 7, Rugby Borough, Moulton.
Right. Man of the match. Wow.
So, I'll touch you there, Tracy. And now it'll be Moulton who be collecting their runners-up medals. They said they did really well to get this far. Both teams did. There's certainly been something to be proud of, but they certainly won't feel like that at the moment. But the runners-up medals, or worthy runners-up, they said they did play really well over the 90 minutes, but they just couldn't quite take their chances. Moulton, they got themselves the runners-up medals. And see there, our club secretary Tracy there presenting the awards and the medals.
It's amazing that 2 Division 1 sides competed in the Premier Division Cup.
So it's a great achievement for both sides getting this far. 2 Division 1 sides getting to Premier Division Competition Cup final. It's certainly nothing to be ashamed of becoming runners up, but once you get to the final, of course you want to win it, and those Moulton players will certainly be disappointed. But it's certainly, I think, looking back on it, they won't be. Certainly, hopefully, it could be something that they can look back on and be proud of their cup run. That's for sure. There's a couple more awards being read out, so apologies. I'm not quite sure what awards are actually being dished out here, but we are waiting for the Rugby Borough to be presented with, I think Moulton here have been presented with the runners-up trophy. And now and Rugby Borough now collecting their medals. Worthy winners on the night. They were the more clinical team out of the 2. Took their chances and took it well in a cup final. That's exactly what you have to do. And they did it well, particularly in that first half as well. And been a great couple of days for those Rugby Borough players, gaining promotion into Step 5 on Saturday and then winning the Cup on the Tuesday. A good end to the season for them. As Tracy, our club secretary, once again presenting the medals to all the Rugby Borough players as they get ready to lift the Gladwish Challenge League Cup. They present the trophy. Congratulations to the winners of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy, Rugby Borough. They get their pictures in. Winners of the 2022-23 Gladwish Challenge Trophy, Rugby Borough. Congratulations. And now they will get to celebrate a fantastic achievement. And that's going to wrap it up from a very special live stream, the Gladwish Challenge Cup final. I've been your commentator, Ryan Madden. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors here at Biggleswade United, who of course hosted the Gladwish Challenge Cup final this year. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors here at Biggleswade United. First of all, Winchmore Brickwork for being our men's first team sponsor. VO for being our women's senior team sponsor. Flawless Landscapes for being our reserve team sponsor. J&B Motorsports for being our vets team sponsor. Recycling Lives for being our ground sponsor. And the Keach Hospice Care for being our ground sponsor. That's going to wrap it up here from everything here at the Keach Hospice Care stage. And once again, huge congratulations to Rugby Borough, worthy winners there. In the Gladwish Challenge Cup final, they find themselves 2-0 victors tonight, and they will certainly be happy with that. Thank you all for tuning in. I've been your commentator, Ryan Madden, and we'll be back very soon for another game, hopefully, before the end of the season. You never know. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back to the next one. Take care, stay safe, and thank you all for watching.